And we are live on our week of empowerment. It's empowerment, but it's a week of impact. So, normally, for those of you who know, the first Thursday of the month and the third Thursday of the month is what I call the empowerment moment with Dr. G. And as it will go, today I am with some amazing, some of my absolutely favorite people in the whole wide world. Okay, so if you're not in this Zoom room with us, please know that you're also very special to me. So don't get mad at me because the people are going to be like, what was that about? But there's a time and a season for everything under the sun, right? So we all have our turns. And today I'm wearing my very beautiful dress, Haven International, because our empowerment moment or our week of impact is focusing on one of my absolute favorite part of the work that my goal does. So for those of you who don't know us, my goal is just to support families facing autism and other intellectual disabilities. I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. And as I journeyed with my son Nicholas, our family overseas in Ghana where became a huge part of our spreading the information that regardless of the child's abilities or the level of support the individual needs, we need to make sure they have the same access. I was privileged to travel to Ghana for vacation. And while I was there, I had an opportunity to visit one of the schools in Ghana, ACT. And I want to thank Auntie Sewa for opening up her center for me to be a part of, just seeing what was happening in Ghana. And I was so moved by what was happening in my native country, Ghana, that I knew that if we were doing anything here in the United States, we needed to extend it beyond the borders. Because now more than ever, we become a global community. We've become where people are looking and saying, you know what, I have a diagnosis, but where do I go? What do I do? How do I begin? And I am privileged because I've been blessed with resources from having friends and family who care about us, therapists who work with our son, and seeing him make progress. And I was overwhelmed with the fact that in Ghana and other parts of the world, people don't have access. They don't even understand what's going on with your child. A child that was talking, saying their dada, ABC, and all of a sudden they regressed. Or a child that just never met their milestones. And oftentimes, the mother is accused of being cold or something that she did, and the family's ostracized, and people said, the child has something is wrong with them, and they're abandoned and not taken care of, all because of the lack of understanding of what's going on with the individual. When I learned that, I was just like, wow, I got to do something about it. And as you learned the other day, for those of you who don't know me, I just know that if I am passionate about something, oh boy, I can't sleep. I got to think about it. I got to figure it out. And if you're my friend, you're coming on this journey with me. I I tell people, who knows, I will show up in your dream. You'll be dreaming about me. And you'll be like, wait, stop already. So I have a number of people who have traveled with me to Ghana and supported our initiative. And today I am so excited to have a number of the team members who have traveled with us share their stories with you and share how passionate they are. But before we get started, I absolutely want to acknowledge an amazing woman who's on here. It's midnight in Ghana, and she's chosen to join us tonight. Our
Mm.
own program director, Jennifer Brook. Jennifer, we love you. We appreciate you. Haven could not be what it is without you. So thank you for coming on live with us tonight so that you can share the passion. And I'll tell the more story about that. So Haven International is the global initiative of My Goal. That is My Goal is the parent company, and Haven is the subset of that. So at Haven is beyond just autism, it's also other intellectual disabilities. So including, hi, Rebecca. Rebecca says hello to all of us. That's awesome. Hi, Rebecca. We miss you. You were supposed to be on here tonight, but you are teaching your class. I couldn't have you on, but don't worry, you're well represented. Um, so Haven is the parent company, and our vision is really to go global, not just Ghana, but to other shores. And we've been able to do that. Last year, we were able to go to Liberia. And I will be remiss if I don't say thank you, thank you, thank you to Focus for Health Foundation, who have been instrumental in your support for us getting this far. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, and I want to say thank you to Stella and to all the team members. I can't count enough of them, and I couldn't have all of them here tonight. So we just wanted to just get people to have a taste and a flavor of what Haven International is all about. So we're going to show a quick video about Haven, and and some of the activities that we've been doing, and you're going to see two quick videos. One of them is just kind of like an overview of our journey over the years. So tonight we're going to do that, and then also we have an initiative, a study abroad program that we have with the College of New Jersey, TCNJ. And TCNJ students have had an opportunity to go to Ghana, and do a 3-week program for a couple of years. And I have the facilitator and the architect behind that program, Dr. Michelle Naples, Professor Michelle Naples, who I just love this woman to pieces. I've known her for, gosh, almost 18 years. Wow. So long. And, she drank my Kool-Aid that I made, and she's stop. She'll tell you stories. So she's been on this journey with me, and I dragged her to Ghana. She was asking what the heck is she gonna do in Ghana. Before she knew it, she was dragging other people along. And now, if you ever meet Michelle, she's talking about Ghana all the time. They would think that her husband is like, oh my gosh, I don't think we can ever get Ghana out of your system now. We also have Miss Sean Jacobs. I dragged her to Ghana. She was screaming and crying and screaming all the way. Now she can't wait to go back. We can't put all the secrets out there. But when she was going on the plane, I'm like, bro, where do you think you're going? Vacation? She was ready. She had her flip flops on, going on an international flight. I'm like, this flight is 11 hours long. She got there, and it's been amazing. I also have on here today with me Ade Otibanjo, Adebogaya Otibanjo, who's a speech pathologist. Ade, we can't get enough of Ade, and its kids can't get enough of him. And then, of course, we have my dear board president, the Reverend Lauren Priestley Smith, who is also going to Ghana and seeing the work firsthand. And tonight she's going to be with us to facilitate the conversation that we have with our panelists. So they're going to be talking to you about their experiences so that you have a sense of that. But before they get into that, we wanted to show you the video. So take a watch of what Michael is doing.
lovely children. My colleague welcomes you to Haven International e-learning. I am delighted to have you here. But before, how are you all doing? Good. So today we are going to learn about the letters of the alphabet. Are you ready to learn something new? Good. So join me as we begin to learn the letters of the alphabet. Okay. Today's new letter is letter
So that was part of the videos that we wanted to show. We're going to show the second video in a minute. I just wanted to just kind of bring the team on for 1 second to kind of talk about just watching that. What were your thoughts? And Pastor Lorraine, I'm going to turn that over to you in a minute. And then what we're going to do is, as we start to talk about the programming at TSTA with the TCNJ, we'll show you a little clip about that. So at this point, I'm just going to bring Pastor Lorraine Priestley-Smith, who's our board president. She's one of my mentors, who from day one, I pitched this idea of starting a support group. And now it's turned into a whole program with no end in sight, because every time I go to sleep, I think about someplace else that I think I want to go to. Actually, I am trying to do some work with some people in Malawi next. So I'm putting it out there just so that you guys, the way you hear about it, I can't help myself. It just, you connect with people and they're doing stuff and you want to be a part of it. So I'm just letting my Haven team know right now. Yeah, you might be going to Malawi next. No, just put it in out there. So I just want to invite Pastor Lorraine to kind of just have the team introduce themselves briefly, and then we can get into that part of the conversation tonight.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. As Dr. Genevieve said, she has a way of drafting people, and you're not sure that how you became a part of something, but suddenly you know that you are. And more often than not, you really end up giving your all to whatever it is that she asks of you. So it becomes a personal journey. It's never a situation where it's done on a one-off basis. So having said that, I'd invite Michelle, if you would just share with us a little bit of your personal journey in serving with My Goal and Haven International in Ghana.
Okay, because it asked about a personal journey, I wanted to just start at the beginning, which was Nicholas. We were all members of the same church, and Nicholas was my friend. He would like touch my foot under the pew, to say hello in the morning at church, or sit on my knee and tell me his ABCs. And then he developed autism. And so meanwhile, I had developed digestive issues. So I was researching my issues, learning about gluten sensitivity and casein and blood sugar. And Genevieve was researching for him and discovering very parallel things. They seem to overlap a lot. Then a few years later, we had an Autism Awareness Month, and I invited Genevieve to come. And she went the wrong way on 295, so I had to speak about what my goal was. Well, we all thought God was playing a role here, because why would he do that to her? She had the directions. Obviously, I was supposed to step up. And what, my goal was doing for children, and the students were interested, and the faculty in the special ed program at TCNJ were very interested. And they said, let's run a study abroad program in Ghana for our students. And we'll work with the school, we'll work with Haven. So that's what we did. I missed one. I missed that Genevieve did take me to Ghana, and I kept saying, why am I here? And I ended up giving a talk on the biomedical diet, which is very much like the autoimmune, the diet you go on if you have an autoimmune condition to clear your system. So I thought, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what I can bring. And so we did bring students to special ed students and some business students to Ghana. Special ed students were stationed at Haven and working with the children there and the teachers there. But, it's just what Lorraine said, Genevieve sweeps you in, and she has also said to me, which I think is true, that people want to do something for the world. You want to help. So you see a problem, you want to fix it, you want to at least make a contribution. And so it's been a real blessing. It's been a tremendous blessing to be able to go and share for me what I've learned about diet and how powerful it is in healing a lot of problems with families there. And then to hear the following year, oh yeah, he used to not answer to his name, but it turned out he couldn't hear. It turned out, now that he's off milk, he can respond when I call him. It's like, oh my gosh. So.
Michelle, you mentioned the students at TCNJ. What response have you received from them regarding their experience in Ghana?
That it was life-changing. They all want to go back. In fact, many of them have. So Jerry Petroff is the faculty member in special ed who continues to go. And he's figured out a way for there to be a graduate program where they're doing research just for the class, not publication research, but so they can learn research techniques while they're there, to observation and thinking about these children and thinking about the techniques in the classroom. There's some who want to go back a third time, but we haven't figured out how to do that. Mm-hmm. And, it's a life event to go be immersed. Ghanaians are very welcoming and very warm. And I mean, Jennifer took us to a women's rock band, and the men were dancing with our students, showing them the dances, and the students were all dancing. It's just like people are very easy, and lovely. That's what I hear, that they just,
Awesome. Sean, how has your personal journey with my goal evolved?
So my personal journey has definitely been an interesting one, because I would almost say it was accidental getting involved with my goal. In the sense that I began with Haven International first, actually, sort of as a professional endeavor. It turns out I had a mutual friend, Ellen, who's our OT with Dr. Genevieve, and she's an occupational therapist. And so I said OT as if everyone knows, but occupational therapist. And, she sort of recommended, to Dr. Genevieve, that I travel with her. So we did an interview, and happily, I guess on my part, I don't know how happily on Dr. G's part, she accepted me. She accepted me into her program. So I wanted to, I will add, even though she ropes people in, she's very strategic about how and who she ropes in. So it's definitely not like shooting, throwing the dice, right? She's very intentional. So I came on the journey just with the intention of offering structure, I guess, and guidance to this newly founded program for children with exceptional abilities. And I say exceptional because I think, as we mentioned earlier, our children are gifted in unique ways despite their struggles or what others perceive as disabilities. So that's why I wanted to use exceptional and put that out there. But also, just to offer my special education proceeds to fellow teachers that were now joining this program on the ground. But yeah, that's sort of how my journey happened. She definitely, I would say Dr. G saw something in me that honestly at the time I didn't even see in myself. So having traveled to Haven definitely brought out a totally different aspect of who I am and what, I learned that I could do and contribute to a different cause. It's something that I really care about, which happens to be children with disabilities, children who are struggling to get their learning needs met and other needs as well, social emotional.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Ade, can you share something about your personal journey? Not just with Michael here in the US, but your involvement with Haven in Ghana.
You're muted.
You're
Ade,
muted.
Good evening.
good
Okay,
evening. Good.
good.
Hi.
Thank you. Sorry. It's been an amazing journey, and it's so funny. I remember how I met Dr. Genevieve. It was through one of my sister's friend, and I had been working as a speech pathologist in New York City, and I usually work in the Bronx, where we have a lot of families from Africa, from Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, and most African countries. And I had passion. My passion was to work in pediatrics. I remember my first practicum at graduate school. I had the option to do geriatrics or pediatrics, and I chose pediatrics because one of the things is that it brings smile into my face if I work with a child and I can see them make progress in their communication skills. So it touches my heart that I was able to make a change. So going back to how I met Dr. G, and Dr. G is somebody that, saying no is not an option. So when my sister's friend, I told her I was going to Nigeria because I'm from Nigeria, and I told her I was going to Nigeria to work with another foundation helping kids with autism because that was my passion. Like, if I could help the children in the United States, why not go back home and see if they need my help? And my sister's friend said, "Wait a minute, I know this lady, she's very involved in the church. She prays a lot. She's very strong in prayer." And I said, "Wow, that's a good person to go to Ghana with. I know I'll be protected." So she said, "You know what? I will find out from her if she still needs someone to go to Ghana, you know." And then within an hour or two, she called me. She said, "Can I give her your number?" I said, "Sure." That's how Dr. Genevieve and I connected over the phone. And right away, she said, "I want you to go to Ghana with us." I was like, wow, just like that. So, and ever since that, there's no regret. It's like, I want more. I want to go back. And I remember my first trip, even with Miss Jennifer, it's like between Dr. G, Miss Jennifer, is like, you can't go wrong going back to Ghana. You're well taken care of. They treat you like, like royalty when you go to Ghana. And I remember my first trip. We had gone to a school outside of Accra to work with some kids there. And I met this father, and he said his main concern is speech. A lot of people, even in the New York City area where I work, the kid might have other concerns like OT, PT. Not that it doesn't matter, but their always main concern is always like speech. How can we get him some speech? How can we get him some form of communication? And the father came up to me and said, "Listen, can you go and look at my child, the father in Ghana?" I said, "Oh, okay. We're here. That's what we came to do. We're going to see everybody." He said, "He doesn't talk. We've taken him all over. They test his hearing. They said there's nothing wrong with him. They said he can talk, but he wouldn't talk." And the boy was, I think, about 5 years old then. And that was my first trip. And I just started, because I love working with children because that's the joy in me. And I brought out, I think it was an iPad, and I showed a picture of Apple, and the boy just said, and I said, try to, imitate the first sound,
I
like
liked him.
Apple. And the boy just went, Apple. And the father turned around and said, "What? Did he just talk?" He said, "What did you do?" I said, no, it's the glory of God. I didn't do anything. You said, do it again. I said, and we did it again with him. And the boy said, apple again. He said, my brother, you're staying in Ghana. I said, no problem. So ever since then, I've been going back every year, and it's been amazing because even me, the father, was laughing. I started shedding some tears like, wow. So this boy, the father said, he has never spoken. He kept emphasizing that. And to me, that meant a lot to me. Like, if I could do something to a child, it brings a smile to my face. And that really encouraged me more that, this is not going to be the last trip to Ghana if I'm invited. And ever since then, all the trips we've been to Ghana, I must say, it's been so amazing. And there's been so much good things that have come out of it that I always look forward to going back to Ghana.
Okay, thank you. We've been talking about Ghana and Haven. So I'd like to bring in Jennifer, our program director. And without Jennifer, I don't know what we would do. So Jennifer, if you could just share with us a little about the Haven Learning Resource Center and what is offered there.
Thank you so much, Pastor Lorraine, and thank you for the kind words. Well, I think I would have to thank Robert for, making the bringing me in to be part of this journey. I mean, until I met Robert, I had no idea about autism. But when I watched Nick's videos and everything he had to say about it and asked, would you want us to set up in Ghana? I said, sure, why not? Without even thinking twice about it. And like all the previous speakers, I have no regrets. The journey began in 2012, and Haven, I must say, continues to be a leading light in caring for individuals on the autism spectrum and their families. The services we provide includes support for development of professionals that work with our children. We proceeded to sign an MOU with the Ghana Education Service to provide training for teachers. Until Haven stepped in to provide this service, most of the teachers had no clue about autism. All the kids with intellectual disability were bunched together and given the same treatment. Most of the time, the teachers didn't know what to do with them, so they'll give them toys to play with. So once we set out to do that training, most of them became aware of the possibilities with the kids, who are extremely gifted, by the way. And so on that score, I would say without contradiction that Haven sets the pace. We also started a vocational program at the Learning Resource Center for the older kids. Hitherto, there was no program for them. Well, none that I was aware of. But we nurtured older kids that came to Haven, and we held a graduation ceremony for our first set of graduates in 2019. And I'm proud to say that they are set up on their own, producing art and crafts that they were taught and generating income for their families. For the younger kids, we have the Jumpstart program for early intervention, where they're taught communication skills, literacy, personal and social skills development, problem-solving skills, numeracy, and physical development. I'm also proud to say that 85% of our kids have been mainstreamed back into regular school. And that for us is a huge achievement. We also run an after-school program where we bring regular kids to to interact with our kids, because really, once they come in there, they are by themselves. But once we bring in other kids, they're able to interact with them, and it helps with their development process. The, should I go on to talk about the vision for the future?
Yes.
Or
Yes, I would
I
love
stop?
for you to share with us what your vision for the future looks like.
Okay, so right now we're up to capacity, meaning that the space has become very small. We've had to turn kids away because we don't want to overcrowd the spaces, and then we're unable to pay special attention to the kids that are already there. So we need to grow, we need to expand. We're aiming to commence a Smart Academy program on a pilot basis in January. We also are looking to establish a Haven Health and Wellness Center. Also, we want to set up a shop so that we can sell the crafts that the kids make in a more organized way. And then also have an outlet for healthy snacks and supplements for our kids and the wider public. We're also looking to reactivate the Study Abroad program. We've had a break, but we want to restart. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Michelle on what plans she has on that front. So I'll stop here, and then if anything else comes up, I'll come back and talk. Thanks.
That is just absolutely awesome. And to hear what is on the horizon, it's heartwarming. And it also reminds our donors and our financial supporters that not only is work being done here in the United States, but we are so concerned about what happens beyond the boundaries of the states. And Haven is a pilot program that I'm sure others will emulate. And as we look forward to that, Jennifer, I want to say a huge thank you to you on behalf of the board for all the work that you do. And I must say to those who are watching or listening, this is not her full-time job, but she makes it her full-time job. So again, thank you for all that you're doing for Haven International. Can you just speak a little bit about the teachers and how they're recruited there at Haven?
So we have a number of teachers that were trained in the College of Winnipeg as special ed teachers. We also have a number of graduates from various universities that were put on a program to enable them gain skills. And once they came into Haven, they just fell in love with the program and the kids. And so they fit in. So they've had a lot of training to enable them work with the kids. And I mean, they've been amazing. We've been lucky that we've been able to attract the right kind of teachers with a heart to do this work. We're looking to, once we expand, we would have to recruit more teachers. And of course, we need to continuously train them, because for some of them, it's new to them, they're passionate about it, they get it, and they're working with the kids, and we're getting results. So we're open also to receiving volunteers to come work with us. I mean, for long periods, short periods, we're open. Professionals, occupational therapists, speech pathologists, and any and every professional that can support our work, is welcome to come work with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Michelle, you have been to Ghana a number of times.
Yes.
And can you share how serving on the team that goes to Ghana, what has it meant to you and how has it impacted your life?
Wow. It's a big question. I mean, I can just tell you what we've done. I think it speaks for itself. We've talked about how Genevieve brings people in, and then so now I'm working with two colleagues at TC&J, and we bring in students, and then they did a toy drive, and they brought their own technology materials to give to the school, to give to the children. But then, Genevieve, I had brought as well 3 business students. I'm sorry, Jennifer, had arranged for us to work with the African Women's Development Fund and learn more about, and it was just fantastic. I mean, there we were with the board of the African Women's Development Fund, talking about what's the situation of women in West Africa and Africa and the kinds of programs they funded to help rural women, to help with health conditions. I mean, they told crazy stories about women not having health care when they were pregnant. This priest who put them on the back of the motorbike to try to get them to the hospital. So it was just eye-opening for me personally, even though I knew intellectually. You hear the testimonies and the stories, and it's just much more powerful. And we haven't talked about this, but Jennifer also has another hat among her activities where she has created a non-for-profit Beyond Aid to help rural women, and Bamboo Afrique, which she helps the women harvest bamboo and make beautiful. I should have had some at hand, bamboo products to sell so they can have some income to just support them economically. And so my students worked with her on creating a website that could then appeal to a US audience or a foreign audience, and try to strategize about imagery and language. And everyone was so excited. The students had a real world activity that was going to help somebody. It wasn't just, for individual gain. And then it snowballed. So the next year we brought students, each one had an extra piece of luggage, international travel sized luggage full of supplies that they were bringing to laminate products for PECs, for the picture exchange symbols, or to colored paper or felt boards, or to try to help equip classrooms. And, you meet these tremendous people. I know Adwa was the occupational therapist who started who started with the occupational placements for the students in the community and training. And she was going to learn everything she could about the biomedical diet and how to cook it. And so she was in the kitchen. Everything I was going to make, we were going to make it together, and she's taking notes. Like, it was just tremendous, She was such a professional. And the seriousness of trying to help these kids and figure out how can we do this.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Sean, is there a moment that you consider a highlight or something that you just cannot forget that is so cherished, that you experienced in one of your trips that you are able to share with us?
Yes, that's so hard to do actually, because there's so many moments, honestly, that to summarize it, but I'll pick one. One moment actually was one of the things that Dr. Genevieve does very well from the very beginning of the program, was try to establish a connection to the people where you are. So, as I guess some people have mentioned already, I do have a lot of familiar with West African culture because I service Newark area, as Ade mentioned. However, there's still a difference between here versus there, right? Clearly. So I would say if I had to give my most memorable moment, it would be just as a team when, which was actually a very sort of, not even sort of, was an emotional and spiritual moment during my visit to Cape Coast. And I
Mm.
said that because it was a moment that changed my view of how God has always kept his people, regardless of their circumstances. And that sort of remained with each one of us, I would say, not just me, but also just how he uses us, me particularly, to send help when needed. And I think I really internalized that moment that just as, God had used, I feel like as a believer, God had really used this moment to serve on Haven as a moment for me. But in that same return, because, if you know anything about God, or, he can be comical. And he definitely, I think, used me as a vessel to serve as help with the families of Haven International. And so that's why that moment was impactful for me, was because I was able to relate the idea of how God is always looking out for everyone, no matter what their circumstances are, no matter what their ability, disability. So for me, I really was able to connect going to Cape Coast to what we were there to do.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Ade,
Yes.
what is your most memorable moment since you became a part of the team?
There's been a lot of them, and I know time won't even permit to mention all. Um, the joy with me and the memorable ones is that, like I said initially, is that going to Ghana and seeing all the children, especially the children in need of some form of communication skills, and I'm able to render some form of service to those children. It touches my heart, and it brings joy into my heart that I'm able to make a change, not just here, but I'm able to make a change so many miles away, and is well appreciated. And you see the parents come to you and say, "Thank you for what you did to my child." So, and that still lives with me sometimes, every day, not even sometimes, every day. I still think about it. And each child that I've seen in Ghana, I still have them in my head that I wonder how they're still doing. Are they still making progress? Have they regressed? Because that's one of the things in therapy. I always tell parents this: it's not something like you take Tylenol and it goes away. You have to practice. There has to be a lot of repetition, and you will hope that the family carry on what you've shared with them and taught them. So the children will always be with me, and that's one thing that's one memory I will never forget. And all the great experience, all the heart we've touched in Ghana, and the opportunity that my goal and Haven International have given me to go on that trip. It's something that I would take to my grave.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot has been said about Ghana, and initially, Dr. Genevieve mentioned Liberia. I was a part of the team that last year visited Ghana and then went on to Liberia. The mission in Liberia was we were going to explore what could be done there. Whether or not what was being done in Ghana is something that we could replicate. And we had the opportunity to do a workshop. It was the first kind of this kind that was ever done in the country of Liberia. There were so many, many individuals who showed up for that workshop. Some traveled hours to get to the venue. We had a representation from the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, from the Vice President's office, from the President's office, teachers, parents, and my takeaway from that was the awesome need that is there in Liberia. And as we continue to do more exploration as to what are the next steps, where do we go from here? I want to ask those who are on the line now, and I'm going to sort of put you on the spot a little bit. I have learned from Dr. Genevieve how to do this. Would you be willing to make a commitment when the time comes to share the gifts that you have shared in Ghana, also in Liberia? Ade, beginning
Oh,
with you.
okay. Oh, uh, yes, you're right. You're putting me on the spot, right? I think this comes from the heart, and I think it's something that God has put in me that I have to do. So, answering your question, my answer would be yes. Yes.
Okay, Michelle. Michelle, what about you?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I know. They'll just say what? West Africa? You know, we
Yeah.
have in Ghana. Now it's going to be West Africa.
Right. Sean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Taking
And
our gift into a broader sense is always the goal, is being able to touch more and reach more people.
absolutely. Thank you. And Jennifer, I don't know how many hours that are in your day, but I am sure that we can count on you to be a support and a resource when the time comes for us to move to take this program to another level. I'm going to ask you to think about for a moment one word, just one word, that you would use to describe the work that is being done by the team. Sean, I'm looking at you, so why don't you share your one word with us?
You know, that's such an easy word, actually, because my word would be hope. I feel that our team gives families and children hope that they are here for a reason and people understand and, love them no matter what their family circumstances are, no matter what their abilities are. We're here to give hope that we're all worthy of God's love and God's concern. And He's just, that's what we're here for. So I definitely think my word is hope.
Okay, thank you. Michelle?
I would say
What?
empowering.
Okay.
That we help the families and the children see what they can do. Give them a sense of agency. This is not a life sentence. This is an opportunity to learn and to develop.
Okay. Ade, what would your word be?
I would say amazing.
Okay.
Because to go back home, I would say I'm going back home, whether Ghana, whether Liberia, and to see the needs of all the children and to able to bring some form of change, because change comes in so many ways, and to be able to bring some form of change, and no matter how little it is, I think it's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Jennifer, what would your word be?
Mine will be transformative.
Mm.
Yes, because there's nothing we have touched that hasn't transformed. No matter how small, we see a change. And we know that we've made huge impacts thus far. And we've only just begun.
Mm. I like how you say that. We've only just begun.
Yes.
I think it's only fair that I would share my word. And I want to say faithful. Faithful to God, first of all, for allowing us to be able to do what we do. Faithful as far as the Kuma plays are concerned, that they're using their experience to benefit others, faithful to describe all the team members, individuals who pay their own way to go to a different part of the world and to give of themselves, faithfulness to our supporters who year after year support the activities, faithful to describe our sponsors who see the need and give of their time, their energy, their finances, their resources to keep this ministry of my goal going forward. And I just want to be, again, on behalf of the board, say to those who are watching and to you team members, how much we appreciate all that you do, all that you give, and just who you all are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Dr. Genevieve, I'll turn this over to you and let you do the wrap up.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I'm sitting here listening to all of you, and I'm just in such a awe of you and what you've given and what you're doing and blessing that you are. And you've heard the vision and you joined in. And I'm just grateful to God that we're on this journey together because lives are being transformed. We brought hope to these individuals and their families. Indeed, God has been faithful. Indeed, the trips have been amazing.
Yes.
And, we just want to help one person at a time. That was really, I mean, like, anytime I get, overwhelmed with my own personal issues, I just remember there's one person who has it worse than I do. And therefore, we need to continue to be a blessing. And so we've talked about the TCNJ. I love those students. Oh my God. So you saw how passionate I am about the Rutgers students on Sunday. Well,
Yes.
I'm equally crazy about the TCNJ students because there's something to be said about introducing the future generation to connect to something bigger than they are. And that's why I when I find someone who's interested in giving of themselves, I will pursue you until you come along, and then you go do the rest, and you're addicted like I am, right? So we wanted to show a little bit of the video of the TCNJ students and their trip, just a little portion, and then we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes on it. So Jenny, if you don't mind. Valley. gives you a flavor of what the students have experienced. And just to kind of put it out there in terms of when students decide to go on this study abroad, we want it to be really a cultural experience as well. So they have an opportunity to go to Cape Coast, where they get to see that, go visit where the slaves were kept. So they get that experience. And that's what Sean was alluding to. Really getting an opportunity to hear the history of Ghanaians and how some of, slaves were brought to the United States and to the shore. So they go through that experience. They get to eat the food and have all the dynamics. So for my husband and I, it's always been an interest of ours for people to experience other cultures and particularly see how Ghanaians are. And that's what we're saying, that beyond just the fact that they're going to help us at Haven, they also have an opportunity to have a life transforming experience by going to Haven. And that's the reason why people go back. And we believe from the time they land at the airport all the way through to when they come back, safety is utmost importance. And that's the reason why most people that we've been able to get. So we've made at least 15 trips to Ghana, and different teams have gone over the time. And like, as Lorraine alluded to, people have paid their own way. We've had numerous supporters. St. Peter's University in New Brunswick actually sponsored and had a photographer, videographer go with us to kind of illustrate the stories of what we're sharing. We've had developmental pediatricians go with us, DCBAs. We've had a special ed attorney. And these individuals have just said, I want to be able to be a part of what's happening overseas. So our vision and our mission is always to help people to see that individuals affected by autism and other intellectual disabilities, your lives matter. Your families whose stories are going to be changed, their legacies are changed because of what you and I can do. This is our week of impact. And I hope what you've seen today has encouraged you, empowered you, and above all, have allowed you to get an inside view of what we've been doing for the past 12 years. And I know there are friends out there that I don't always tell more about what we're up to, because I just never want it to be about me. I want it to be about the difference that we can all make together. And you heard Jennifer talking about the vision. Her vision is big. So we want to do more. We want to make more impact. And so we're inviting you to support this initiative. There are choices out there in terms of organizations that you can support, but everyone on here, on this line, is a volunteer. Everyone. And we not only volunteer our time, we also give our resources financially. I don't know what I would do without Jennifer, who gives of her time, her vision, the ideas. And you saw that e-learning concept that was being displayed. Our teachers have gone creative and now are using technology to teach the children and showing up in the videos so the students can see their teachers as part of the material. That's how creative, and that's how every dollar that we get gets stretched. I'm very intentional about honoring people in terms of how they give their money. So for some people, they want their money to stay local. On Sunday, we showed you the grants program. And on Saturday, which is our upcoming Night of Impact, you hear the stories of the families in the United States who've received the grants. But those who want their monies to go overseas, here it is. We have this program. And here it is. You've heard from the professionals who are providing this service, what they're saying about it. So that tells you we can be trusted to use the resource in the way that will honor the intent for which you're giving it for. And you can find out more information on our website, mygoalautism.org. But I'm going to invite Jenny, my program coordinator, to share with you. For some people, they just like prizes. We want to donate. So I want her to share a little bit about the creative way we've gotten to in fundraising. So let's go, Jenny.
All right. So here are all the ways that you can donate towards our Saturday event for the Night of Impact. You'll land on this page. It's in the comment sections. It's on our Facebook. It's on our website. It's all over the place. If you need the link, feel free to email me. It's jenny@mygoalautism.org. But here you'll see all our recent donations, some of the reasons why we are impactful, and there's so many ways that you can donate. You can text the word impact to 732-532-2054. You can Venmo us. We have PayPal. There's so many different sponsorship levels, our Circle of Journey supporter levels. And here's our thermometer as to where we are. And this is all live from tonight. We're at 12,700. So we're almost there. Our goal is 20,000 for this event. And then like Jeff said, just for some fun prizes, once you're on this page, you can click right here to click and visit our auction and raffle page. And that'll bring you right here. This first page is all about our raffle tickets. Some of them you can see are already sold out, so you want to get on here and purchase these. But all this first page has all of our raffle tickets. You just simply click the button, you purchase the tickets, and then I do the rest. I'll send you all the information you need. Page 2 and 3 has some awesome items that you can bid on. Some of them are already gone. Some already have a lot of bids on them. But it's really fun to watch these bids come in. It's fun to watch the bidding wars go on. But we've got some great stuff here from Amazon, Wawa. The Giants have sent over a signed poster. We have a television recently from Nothing Bundt Cakes. We just got free cake for a year. It's a booklet and it's pretty amazing. We've got a Starbucks gift card. Starbucks gift card's gone. That just recently happened. A Chipotle gift card. So you want to get on here quick. Again, if you have any trouble or need any advice or have any questions, just feel free to reach out. But here's all of our stuff. I hope you guys will visit it.
And thank you, Jenny. And if you're watching us tonight and you're a business owner and you want to be a part of that, you said, you know what, I want to donate an item for us for people to bid on, please, consider doing that, because this is all going back to the families. 50-50 raffle is just easy. Just buy a ticket and who knows, you can get a quarter to half the money, and you can, use it to Christmas is coming, right? You want to buy gifts? This is a great way to do it. We just want to be able to leverage it. We're 501c3, so to the extent of the law, it's tax deductible. So we, from day one, we just want to do things in the level that is excellent. And I hope that you've been inspired by what we've shared. Our topic that we took the word impact, IMPACT, and today's component was we have powerful people. That's what I called it. Powerful people taking action. And you saw that. These people were inspired to go to the next level. They traveled on a plane, gone to another country, and then impacted the young people. And as Jennifer said, you have people, young children who have now been mainstreamed. Isn't that amazing? Now they're connected. And beyond that, for me, what warms my heart the most is really these individuals who graduated. They had never graduated before. We allowed them, they went through a graduation ceremony, they had their cap and gown. It was beautiful. And these ones have now gone off and is starting their own business. We took concepts that are being developed here in the United States and we brought it to Africa. And all you need is for people who are willing to do it. So on behalf of My Goal Autism, I want to thank again all our donors, Focus for Health Foundation, Barry Siegel, thank you so much for your support. Michelle Naples, thank you. Michelle, you are just amazing. Dr. Petrov, I want to thank Ade Utibanjo, Rebecca Zegas, Hillary Freeman, Jennifer Brock. I know I'm gonna forget people and they're gonna beat me up, but that's okay. We want to thank Dr. Zimmerman Beer was one of the first ones to go. We want to just say thank you to Ellen Osei. So these are some of the people who have gone with us to Ghana, and they have given up their time, they have given up their resources. I want to thank every single person. I can't say enough thank you. So on Saturday, our theme is celebrate and thankful. So we're gonna do more thank you. And on that note, we want to appreciate Pastor Lorraine for being last minute. I asked you to do this and here you are, and you did a fantastic job as always. So any parting words from our people before we round up? I'll allow you guys to say something before we round up. You're muted.
God bless My Goal and Haven. That's all.
All right. Well, we say God bless all of you. God bless the United States. God bless Ghana. God bless the whole world. And on that note, goodbye, everyone. Join us on Saturday night for the Night of Impact at 7 o'clock. And if you want to get inside the Zoom room, come to mygoalautism.org. Just hit donate and you get an access to the room. So on that note, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank